Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to this week's weekly Power Hour. If you are new, welcome. I see a lot of familiar faces, though, which is also great. We are live every single Thursday at this time. If you are in my group, we put in the recordings every single week. So there is past recordings from August 2023 all the way until now. So if you're looking for some extra training, it is there. But yes, we are live every single Thursday. We will be off the week of Thanksgiving, obviously. And then we have a huge end of year. I always do something big towards the end of the year. Something big is coming. So I'll start talking about that next week and you'll be able to register and all that. I like to make these very conversational. So if you have any questions, I would love for you to post it in the chat. I'll either pause or we'll get to it at the end. So yeah, love questions. So I would also like to know where everyone is located. So I know Ed is in Oklahoma and Latanya is, gosh, don't kill me. I think it's Georgia. No, it's been a long week. I think it's, I want to say it is, but if you could, hey, Rich, San Diego in Southern California, Virginia. Okay, I couldn't remember Virginia or Georgia. Sorry, forgive me. I know we spoke like 1,000 times. Would love to know where you are located, just because I don't know, my team tracks data all over the country and it's just nice to know where you are. Look, it was an election year. I don't know what's coming in 2025, but I'm very excited about this particular training. If you have suggestions for other training, we have about, I think, 6 or 7 Thursdays left of training. That last Thursday on December 19th, like I said, we'll do something big. So be on the lookout for the registration when that opens. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will get started for today. Like I said, if there are any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I will pause and answer those or wait till the end and answer as well. So today's Power Hour is about all about short sales in a boot camp. So I do use the word distress sales and short sales kind of the same. Everyone always says like, there's no short sales in my market right now. Look, there are a lot of families across the country that are struggling. I could look up your data right now and tell you how many families have a pre-foreclosure status, how many have an auction, okay? So here I have 4 deals left I'm trying to get closed. 2 of them are short sales, 2 of them are equity sales. The equity sales are, they're behind on their mortgage. One of them actually has an auction date. So they're at the very end of the foreclosure process, but they have equity and they can still sell. So it's still a distressed situation. It's still a family that we're able to help. So sometimes they're equity sales, sometimes they're short. And it's all over the country, okay? There's just a lot of families struggling. But today is going to be really like about the #1 short sale boot camp, okay? So who is this perfect for? Well, it's really perfect for a lot of you. And so I'm very excited to have a lot of people on this Power Hour this week. So any real estate agent, new or seasoned, so this is going to be for new or seasoned. I've dealt with brand new agents and I have seasoned agents that were like, yeah, Heather, I've been tracking you and your marketing and all that, and was super impressed. But real estate agents, new or seasoned, who are looking to expand their expertise. Okay. So what the heck does that mean? Well, you may go and understand and go through all of this and realize, yeah, distressed sales, the niche of short sales, it is not for me. But you will have a very good overview to better explain and be knowledgeable for your buyers and sellers. Okay. Or maybe you decide, yes, short sales is the niche I want to be in. And, if you don't know me, I've been handling short sales since 2007. It has been my main source of income. I've never gotten another side job. I just hustled when it came to short sales and these distressed sales. Okay. I started with nothing. We absolutely had nothing when we first started. My husband and I would take a train to Michigan. My mom would buy us groceries and we would come back. So I understand the people that come in and don't know where to start. But I really love the niche of distressed sales for anyone that wants to really tailor their schedule towards their family, really want to make a difference in the lives of, families in your community. But anyways, looking to expand your expertise, wanting to specialize in distressed listings, or seeking to better serve buyers and sellers. What if those buyers or sellers have specific questions? A lot of times managing brokers have no clue how to answer them. Well, you can come here and get your questions answered. I'm pretty sure with everything that I've seen that I or one of my team members would be able to answer your questions. All right, let's see here. Hi, Hallie. I think that's how you say it. Awesome. Welcome. Whether you're new or seasoned, it does not matter. All right. I thought I would give this data because it's very, very interesting. Okay. People always tell me that you cannot make money in the niche of short sales. False. And so I'm going to show you that. And there's a reason why I'm telling you all of this before we get to the boot camp stuff. So I pulled this data on Forbes. So the 10 states where real estate agents earn the most money, and this is the breakdown. So I don't know. I know there was a couple that said they were in California. Anyone else in these other states? I thought there was one that said New Jersey. So here's the crazy thing. This is now, again, there could be some people on this weekly power hour that is above or maybe below. This is just like an average that I pulled from Forbes. I just thought it was very, very interesting. Colorado. Okay. So yeah, Colorado's is 79,610. Okay, so this is the 10 states that earn the most money on average. Okay. Just so everyone knows, I'm in Illinois. And okay, we're top 10 states where real estate agents earn the least. Let's take a look at that. Illinois is at the top. Oh, I always say if my husband and I did not build so much here in Illinois, we would have been out of here a long time ago. But this is the average for an agent in Illinois. Anyone on, this top 10 for, earning the least? So obviously I'm not going to ask you what your income or anything is, but I'm going to tell you about mine because I want to tell you all that yes, you can make a profound difference in your communities. It's rewarding, but you can also make a very good living because if you do it the right way, you have the right tools, the right resources around you, you'll establish yourself and it will lead to long-term success if you do it the right way in the beginning. Okay. So yeah, this is the 10 states that make the least. Thought it was very interesting. So I'm actually this is me being a little bit vulnerable. So I have basically showed you my income and I was able to pull and actually copy some of the 1099s. I wasn't able to get to all of them because I got all these jump drives everywhere, but this is my income so far. Now, obviously 2024 is not done, but this is what the production is with my final 4 closings of the year. And so here you go. So obviously I am not really a part of this statistic. Okay. And I'm telling you this because you may see this and be like, dang, I'm at that, or I want to be above it. And this is where I want to be. Illinois is 44,510. And I am showing you that I've made well over 6 figures in the last 6 years. So these are my 1099s. Now, yes, I'm Heather Keller. I am incorporated, so that could probably be another great class. But if you are making a decent amount of money, I would highly encourage you to get incorporated. I'm an S Corp. I don't know, you probably want to talk to your tax accountant or an attorney. I don't know why an S Corp works here in Illinois. It may be working different elsewhere, but I am incorporated, which is really great because it helps with taxes. Okay. And I know this because before I was incorporated, the amount I was giving to the IRS was astronomical. Now it's not as much. Okay. All right. Okay. So why am I telling you this? For a couple different reasons. So make a profound difference in your community by helping families who need you. There's so many families out there that are struggling and they're getting bad advice from the internet. They're getting bad advice from agents who really just want to take on a deal. They're not really thinking about the family and the family's future and what they're actually going through. You can really make a difference if you go about it that way. Yeah, the money is great. Obviously, you can see. But if you have the mindset of truly helping these homeowners, it will lead to long-term success. So today I am closing on a deal that was a referral, and I helped his sister through a short sale situation 12 years ago. And I stayed in touch with them. She ended up buying with me after she was able to. Her brother bought with me twice, and now he's selling with me. So it's not going to be like that for everyone. I mean, like I had a seller on the run for murder. Definitely don't keep in touch with that person, right? But most of them you can keep in touch with because they will be forever grateful for your guidance and your help and the fact that you help them avoid foreclosure. Okay. Imagine consistently bringing home 6 figures year after year for your family. So, this is just my income. That is not my husband. So I'm telling you, anyone who wants to make the 6 figures and has it on their heart to want to help and make a difference, this is the niche and the way to go. You can absolutely do this. 2025 is around the corner. Now is the time to plan, get educated, plug into the community, ask questions. That is the best way to learn and make it happen in 2025. I actually really never understood, and maybe some of you can answer this, like, why haven't you gotten into this niche? I mean, I don't want tons of agents across the country doing it, but it's really a win-win scenario for all parties. One, for the homeowner, they're avoiding foreclosure. They're able to start fresh. And it could be a client down the road for you, whether it's, they decide to buy or they say, hey, I know someone else that's facing foreclosure. Hey, this person wants to sell. It's a win-win for you. You are helping someone. It's psychologically awesome for you, right? And you're making money for yourself, for your family. So like I said, it is really a win-win. Okay. So let's take a look at the boot camp. So this is actually something that I established a few years ago, and I've never really talked about it in my weekly power hours. I'm not sure why, but someone was like, hey, look, I'm trying to plan for the new year. What do you got that could really help me dive into this niche of short sales? And so I'm like, oh, I have this boot camp. And I say it's the #1 boot camp because I promise that you're not going to find this type of information elsewhere. I've had people come to me and say, hey, I got this designation. I got this designation. That's great. And if your area, your state, or whatever requires it, do it. But I do not have any designations. I am self-taught, and I'm here to just vomit all of my knowledge and information onto you. And that's exactly what this is. So we're going to take a look. If you've been on my power hours before, if you know me a little bit, I'm super organized. If that word scares you a little bit, it's okay. We'll help you get that way. So here is the boot camp. And so I want to show you specifically what it entails, okay? All right, so there are 10 guides. So let's just break down the guides a little bit. So for module number 1, it's really like a welcome and an introduction, okay? So there is a download for this. This will be a PowerPoint presentation, and then you'll watch the training of like kind of, you know, welcome, what's to be expected, okay? I do provide a short sale tip in each module. These tips may sound silly, but they are not. Many agents don't know these tips. So get to know the tips. This is you could create, if this niche is something you're looking to do, create the tips in Canva, share them on social media. There's so much that you could do. I also have a 5-day free trial available for the system we use for our leads. And then we have getting started. So there is an actual workbook for modules 2 through 8. I created all of that. So it's like a breakdown of what's going to go on in that particular module. Now this boot camp is short sales from start to finish. Get the deal, close the deal. Okay. And then there's a training. There's always going to be a download and always a training video. Then this is my 3-page homeowner financial hardship questionnaire. This is what you would use in lieu of a script. I do not like scripts. Homeowners that are struggling, I don't think they deserve a script. They need someone to just let them listen. Like you just got to listen. Okay, but there's certain questions that you need to ask because it's a really great way to determine how to help them. Okay, so it's 3 pages of information you should be asking them. Okay, it's a really great thing. Print it, carry it everywhere until you know all the questions to ask. So we have that. And then we have specific questions you should be asking a buyer's agent prior to your seller accepting an offer. And so there's certain things that I do up front to ensure that the deal goes smoothly. Okay. Module 3 is, okay, some of you on here are non-judicial and some are judicial. So how do you really understand your state? And there's different tips and tricks for the foreclosure process, okay? Because you do want to tailor your marketing, which we will give you our pre-foreclosure lead letter. You want to tailor your marketing. If they're in a pre-foreclosure status, there's a certain way. And then if there's an auction status, there's a certain way, okay? So there's just the 2 types. A homeowner is either going to be in a pre-foreclosure status or they're going to have an actual auction date on their property. That means they're at the very end of the process, okay? Tips to understand. Module number 4, determining a game plan. Again, download training video. So here we talk about follow-up because it may be a no right now, but guess what? It's probably not going to be a no forever. So there is a system for follow-up. What do you do? Well, part of that is us writing notes to them. Sometimes it's a text, sometimes it's a phone call. It just kind of depends. How do we keep track of all that? I closed a deal in September and I talked to that lady for a year. So it's just, again, if it's a no right now, it's going to be a yes down the road, more than likely, whether it's a year. I mean, I'm working on one right now that I originally spoke to him 4 years ago. So it's probably going to be a yes eventually. Okay. So just stay in touch with them. Let them get to know you, educate them on the process. Module 5 is pre-listing. So what the heck do we do for pre-listing? Okay. You know, is it Fannie Mae? You know, here's an authorization, just different things that really need to be done for the pre-listing prep, okay? And then we have actual listing the distressed property. So documents that you're going to need, I include my actual authorization that I've used since 2007. I include my indemnity agreement. What the heck is an indemnity agreement? It is going to protect you, okay? There are no guarantees with a short sale. There's also no guarantees that the bank or end investor is going to approve relocation assistance. So there's a part on there about that. Get the indemnity agreement signed because remember, these people, you want to help everyone, but not everyone's in that right mindset. And you don't want them to come back later and say, oh, Amber promised me relocation assistance. Nope, it's all right there. So I had this created many years ago. It is something that my sellers sign. It's just protecting you. And I actually included some really great Facebook ads that have been highly converted here. And so I have buyers and seller ones, lots of auction and pre-foreclosure stuff in there. And then some verbiage you'll need for your short sale listings. Number 7, what do you do after you get that offer? So, well, you're going to have to start collecting documentation for the short sale. I give you a fax cover sheet and how we actually use it and break down what's in the packet. Again, you want to have a clean, concise, organized packet. Fax cover is used whether it is an e-fax or an email, okay? And this may sound crazy, but I am going to add that to this particular module. I have 6 pages of lender contact information. 6 pages. It took me 17 years to gather all of that data. It is the data for all the banks that we've negotiated short sales for. Where do you send the authorization? Where do you send the short sale offer packet? Is it fax? Is it email? So I'm going to add that to this module. Let me just make a note. It's going to be added to this module. You'll be able to download it. It does get updated from time to time, but again, it's 6 pages. So you will not have to call the bank and figure out where to send everything. It's really, really great. Okay. Number 7, negotiations and the approval letter. How do you go about that? You know, for example, I had a short sale that just happened and they just approved it. No counter offer at all. And by the way, the 2 short sales that I am getting, one just got approved this morning. The other one is coming. No issues with buyer compensation. They're paying 2.5%. One of them is a private loan. The other one is Freddie Mac. Okay. So we sent in, I give 3.5 to me, 2.5 to the buyer's agent, and approved. So I have not seen any issues when it comes to buyer commission for these short sales. Okay. So like I said, one was approved. No. And then the other one, there is a counter offer. So now I'm just going back and forth. More than likely we'll be able to make it work. And there's some different techniques and stuff behind that. And then 9 is closing the short sale. Okay. What the heck do you do? Your job is not done once you have that approval letter. But it's very, very exciting. Like I absolutely loved getting it this morning. My sellers got $3,000 in relocation assistance. And so I can call them and say, hey, your short sale is approved. We're planning to close this day. And guess what? When we close, you get relocation assistance. It's really, really great feeling. But there's definitely some things that you have to do prior to closing. And so that is all discussed in here. And then number 10, okay, you're done. And then what happens now with your journey? Is this something that you decide you don't like? That's okay. The niche of short sales, distress sales, it's not for everyone. But guess what? Remain in the group. There is a lifetime membership. Don't leave, because what if 2 years down the road, you're like, oh, a buyer. I have a buyer and they're making an offer on a short sale. I have this question and my managing broker can't answer it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to go to Heather's boot camp and I'm going to post the question and we'll answer it. If you decide, yes, this is the niche that you want to do, then there's some things that you can further your education with, okay? But it's really a great group to get all that stuff. So again, I'm going to add the lender contact information sheet as well as the pre-foreclosure lead letter. Okay, that is it for the modules. So the best way to get your questions answered is you can post them directly here. I just updated all of these modules. So you could also post directly in the group right here as well. Are there questions with that? Excuse me. Questions on the boot camp? Questions in general about short sales or distress situations? Okay, so the boot camp is $97. That includes a lifetime membership, all of the modules, as well as the 2 items I said I was going to add this afternoon. That's it. So you want to stay in there lifetime, whether you decide the niche of short sales is for you or not, because it's really a great way to get your questions answered. So you can scan this if you would like. So basically, once you complete the form, then how long is it? It's lifetime. So it's self-paced. You can go in, you can do it as much as you want. Go back, watch the videos 1,000 times if you want, but it is a lifetime membership. So there's not like, okay, well, you have 3 months to get it done. No. No problem, Hallie. Yep, we'll be back next Thursday. So yes, lifetime membership. I'll post a link too. Let me grab that. So once you fill out the form, it's redirected to the Facebook group. My virtual team will verify and approve you in, and then you'll get tagged into this getting started section. So it's really important to make sure you turn on the notifications, how to actually navigate the group, and then you can download a copy of Secrets of a Short Sale Expert, and then you'll start your journey with the modules, okay? But there is a lot in there. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to take a certification. And like I said, if you need a certification for your area, absolutely do it. But you're not going to learn as much as you would here in this boot camp. I have poured my heart and soul into this as far as everything that I've learned in 17 years. So it's a really, really valuable boot camp, but it's not going to be valuable if you don't do it. So put the effort into it and go through the modules, look at all the free resources, and then ask questions. Anything else as far as ask away? If you want to send me a private message, you can. So at the bottom, when it says everyone, you can actually select me and you can send me a message if you don't want to ask, or feel free to unmute yourself as well. But I would love to answer any more questions that you may have. All right, well, I hope everyone has a blessed Thursday and weekend ahead. I'm going to hang out for a few minutes in case there is any additional questions. Otherwise, I'll be live next Thursday. I don't know what we're going to teach on yet, but I'm sure it will be something really great. And if you have any suggestions, feel free to reach out. I'm also going to put in my email. Otherwise, have a great afternoon.
Hi.
Hey.
I have a quick question. I put it in the chat, but I don't know if you, I just sent it. Yeah, I'm Melanie.
Hey, Melanie. So if you go through the actual short sale boot camp, it does touch on listing a property for equity.
Okay.
Equity, there's not you don't necessarily need a separate boot camp for equity, okay?
Okay.
But you will learn both types of listings in there. I just say short sale because those are more complicated. With an equity sale, they're not as complicated. There's still a lot of moving parts, but you don't actually have to negotiate with the bank. So even if you go through it and you're like, oh, I have an equity situation, you could still come to that group and ask those particular questions. The best way to figure out if it's equity or not is to order an actual payoff. And so, like I said, if you have questions about like equities, you can post them in there, but it does reference it in the modules. It's just not as complicated as like a short sale. So you're getting value with a short sale versus, hey, let me just give you an equity, boot camp.
Okay. Because like you mentioned in the very beginning, I don't see a lot of short sales in my area. And I'm like, I know that there's more because, or I don't know if there's more, maybe, but I know like you also
Where are you
mentioned,
located?
I'm in Connecticut, Fairfield, County specifically. Um, and I have small children. So I'm like, am I able to stay within this area or go to, other counties? But I kind of want to stay close if that's at all possible. Um,
So let me tell you what I did.
mhm.
I mean, my boys now are almost 14 and 10. So I started
Okay.
this way before my husband and I were even married.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the whole goal
Hmm.
is to, and that's where the homeowner financial distress or the homeowner intake sheet
Hmm.
will help you, is like the whole point is to spend as much time on the phone and up front. And so you're only going to that house one time. I
Right.
do not go to the house more than once.
Okay.
So even if I drive an hour to get to it, okay, it is worth my time because I drive an hour, I'm with them, let's just say an hour, and then I drive home. So that's 3 hours on the road. Everything
Hmm.
else can be done in my home office. This is my home office where
Right.
I can adjust it around my kids' schedule. And that's what I did when I was younger. Now I did
Hmm.
have a husband that could stay with the kids if needed, or
Right.
we go during nap times or something. Um,
Hmm.
but it's absolutely doable. It's just you have to come up with a schedule that's going to work and then be very upfront with these homeowners that, hey, I can come, but these are the days and times that will work for me.
Right. During the day would be a little better. I'm trying to just get my younger one situated. If we're gonna, if we can do the daycare, or just have someone come in for a few hours to relieve me. But my 3-year-old is in a program all 8 to 4, so I have some time in between to do some things while he's away, while he's in school. Um, yeah. So, did you see anything, or it's just me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
even,
okay.
I logged in and then I was distracted. Okay, so I'm going to look up. Connecticut is not a huge state.
Right.
So what counties?
Fairfield
I would recommend
County,
going more
New
than one
Haven.
county.
Mhm.
For me, I drove up to an hour and a half
Okay.
because I only went there. And it's not like, sometimes I would get a deal that was 5 minutes away. Sometimes I
Right.
would get a deal that was an hour and a half.
Okay.
But for me, if your average, like,
Right.
it's
If
well
it
worth your
makes
time.
sense, like
So
yeah.
what's another, give me like maybe three counties.
New Haven County, and Hartford County. Those I'm a little familiar with, but I'm originally from New York.
Okay.
So I could go to New York as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have anyone in Connecticut. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I'm looking. So this number may, I'm going to share my screen. This number may surprise you. Hey,
Uh-huh.
Maria. So we're actually through the actual power hour. We started right at 11:30 Central. We're just answering some questions right now. Okay, so in those three counties, there's
Mhm.
418 families
Oh wow.
that either in a, and I didn't break it down separately, but are either in a pre-foreclosure or auction status. So,
Okay.
most people are surprised by the number.
Yeah.
Um, Here's the thing. It's because you're not dealing with it day in and day out.
Right.
You're not seeing it. And most people say, I don't have any because you're not analyzing the data and not really understanding what's going on in your market. And that's
Yeah.
really what you should do when you come on, because it will set
Hmm.
you apart and it will help you kind of tailor your business towards that. But yeah, I mean, 418 is a pretty
Okay.
big number for a smaller area like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think I am gonna take advantage of the boot camp. I don't like, I guess we can just jump in at any time because I had reached out to you last week and I'm like, oh, things are a little tight, but my husband's kind of like, just try and go for it. So I don't know if that I can do it this week or next week.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I really try to make my stuff doable because I remember how it was when I first started.
right,
It was tough.
right. Hmm.
And, I, for many years, really wanted to start Blueprint because I not only wanted to help, especially like moms, because we
Hmm.
rock, right? And we have a million different things on our plates. And I really
Right.
believe that we can do it.
Yes.
So I really wanted to make I know cheap is not the word to use because my stuff is definitely not cheap.
Right, right.
It's doable, especially with
Yes.
everything that you're getting. And my hope is with the boot camp is that it inspires you and motivates you to really dive in deeper with short sales. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
you're getting so much for the value. So,
Yeah.
and I'll be updating the modules today with the actual pre-foreclosure letter as well as that 6-page lender contact sheet.
Okay. All righty. So once I'm ready to move forward, I will reach out.
Yep. I mean, I'll post the replay and then I'll send out the links and stuff, but you can
Hmm.
message me or email me anytime if you can't find it or need help. I'm pretty
Okay.
easy to get a hold of.
All righty. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies, have a blessed day.
You as well. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye-bye.